mystery theory. As always, lots of background noise. I was telling some friends recently that we had such a mild beginning of summer that the goats think that it's breeding season. So they're all excited. And when they see me here, they think I'm gonna help them and do the girl spin, which is not going to happen just yet. But, excuse my face, it's been so stinking busy around here, but I wanted to do a quick video and share with you what's happening. I mentioned recently that I'm working on a studio. It's a funny word for what it is. Basically, I'm sitting in it. It's 100% recycled materials that we got here and there. That corner post was a tree in our property. So it's basically a wood shed. It's gonna be on one side, storage and studio. Right now, we're waiting for the roofing, so it looks very, very ghetto. And it's covered with a tarp because this is Oregon and you never know when it's gonna rain. But all the wood was all recycled from an old barn that is not a barn anymore. All the outside was just part of something a farm purchased and never used. So we used it as you would use plywood. Have my ring light behind me. Just a desk here. Gravel underneath me. It's a work in progress. Eventually, I am going to cover a wall that I'm gonna keep as a backdrop, but it may need a green screen with a dark background as things are starting to come together. The camera is outside, set on a ladder that has a piece of wood across almost to, the third step from the top, and the camera is grabbing onto it. So an old t-shirt dress, but I know that the people I care about here in the channel do care about my sporadic whisper or soft spoken rambles, and my life is kind of different. I can assure you, very different from yours. So I thought, why not? While I figure power coming into here, finishing the other side of this wood shed, and other details that I can't really see what I'm filming. Hopefully I'm in frame, but a whisper ramble, not a big deal. Now, I'm gonna start by saying that I'm very thankful for this recycled business, a business building. I wish it was a business. It'd be nice to get some money out of all the hard work that goes into recycling things. Right now we have like 5 posts like this, trees that you see that we use as posts. They're 3 feet deep into the soil, I guess, and it was all excavated by hand. This studio slash woodshed slash storage, it really is a work of love that my husband has been putting so much time into it, working all day, coming after work, having dinner. We'll have a little cocktail here while we do things, and I just have no words to say how much time and how much love has gone into this. The build itself is like a barn build, with basically foundation is the posts. So it was very important that the foundation, the posts themselves, and the connection on top and bottom are very strong. We live near the coast and we do get high winds every so often. So I am very, very, very grateful for the progress sitting here. I'm looking at all my woods. I'm going to try to put a little clip here so you can look if you're not looking at the screen. In front of me, the birds are everywhere. I see the trees. I see the pasture. This is my happy place, despite the fact that it's not ready. I am so super thankful for it, and I am the most thankful for my husband sticking to the plan and building this building for free, basically, because everything it's recycled. On the outside, it's gonna end up looking pretty because we're gonna buy one of the what's it called, the siding to cover it because it needs protection, and it's gonna have a nice metal roof, so it kind of goes when we bring the house. It's not an eyesore, but the foundation itself, the bones, have been made with so much love, so much time, and so much effort that I think this is it. I'm gonna make it my own, and I'm gonna sit in front of the camera, and you're gonna listen to the rain in the winter. I'm always gonna have this opening right now. It's gonna be a huge door so I can look outside and feel inspired and replenished by just looking at nature, which is what makes me happy. And if I'm happy and relaxed, I can hopefully share that feeling with you guys. That's one. In other news, I've been driving my teenage kids everywhere. So basically, it's 10:46, and by 2, I need to be out of here again. My daughter has this job in town, and she still doesn't have her driver's license. Not because she doesn't want to, but because of medical reasons. There's something we're waiting on. So, despite the fact that she's 18, I've been driving her to town. My son, who is 16, has been doing hay for all the farms around us and has been keeping me busy driving him around. Thankfully, I can, drop him off, and the farmer would drop him back at home when they're done, because they never know when they will be done. So I feel like I am a lot on the road. And for those of you who don't know, we are about 30 to 45 minutes. Something is happening to my computer, and I'm not gonna stop this video because it took me forever to set it up. So you're gonna hear some whispering for a second, okay? It's gonna stop now. So, as I was saying before I was interrupted, we live 20 plus miles from town. Rude, rude, rude. I swear my neighbors love to do this to me. It only took me an hour to set up here. Let's just ruin the video. I'm not gonna stop. Hopefully it's not annoying. It's a background noise. And hopefully their lawnmower is gonna explode. Just saying. And they just can't mow. That's not what I meant, but that's how I feel. So anyways, I've been driving back and forth, and I was feeling very not only exhausted, but I was feeling a little bit bitter because I'm not able to sit here and record at the times that it's quiet. I want to go myself and throw a match at that lawnmower right now. No violence, it's a joke. Is it gonna explode? It's not. Maybe. What's going on? This is a That's a one neighbor I don't really like, but I don't hope that or wish that their lawnmower explodes right now, okay? It's just a joke. It's a joke. Sometimes I make these jokes here and I feel like that's something I would say to my kids or my husband or my friends. And sometimes I feel like people take it seriously. Believe me, 90% of what I say, I'm trying to either be funny or I am being sarcastic, but that's not what I mean by it. I didn't mean no harm to anybody. So I was feeling very bitter about not being able to record videos and actually work on work. I am able to to take time off work when I need to, but that means I'm not making money. So I'm like, thank you, G. So I'm like, okay, I need to work, but I also need to take my kids. My goats are going through something, and they're driving me nuts some days. And so in the end, I was talking to a friend on my blog channel, and I was telling her, after talking to her, I realized this is another phase. It's interesting how sometimes we feel like, frustrated or bitter. I'm talking about myself here. And we don't realize that some of the things that are happening right now are never gonna come back. And it's silly because your kids are maybe 3 right now, and you're thinking, yeah, my kids are never gonna be 3 anymore. But once you start to realize that sometimes you're doing, okay, this is the last summer that we're doing this, or this is then, they're growing up, they're doing their own thing. There's gonna be some whispering in the background because apparently something is up with my computer, and this is such a mess. But I was thinking, maybe I'm just being dumb about this, because if I really think about it, my daughter has been offered scholarships, like sports scholarships, like 4 hours away from me. It might even happen this fall. My son also is very into soccer, and so he too probably will find some kind of scholarship to go play somewhere. And I just feel like I need to enjoy the moment that I am right now. And if the moment and the phase that I am right now, it's driving my kids from and to work, listening to music, putting the windows down, and dancing to vulgar songs, then that's what's gonna be. And I'm gonna be present, and I'm gonna be there to enjoy it and not think about what I think I should be doing instead. More often than not, and I'm gonna speak about, this is me, okay? I'm not saying you, but maybe live in such a hurry that living in the country, it's been teaching me to enjoy the moment. Enjoy what you're actually doing right now. Right now, I am talking to you through this camera, but I feel so connected to some of you that I don't see the camera. It's like I'm talking to you. I am looking at my trees. I am smelling the fresh air. I'm feeling the cotton of my dress on my legs, and I don't know. Being present gives you kind of a weird ASMR experience, because it's like you're feeling all the feelings while you're doing something, and I just cannot tell you how much it changed my perspective. It's not what I'm doing at 3 or what I've been making for dinner. It's what I'm doing now. And the things that come later, I'll deal with them later. So the fair, it's happening in the next few days. And if you live in a city, you're probably thinking, boo-hoo, who cares about the county fair? Let me tell you, our county cares. And it is so much fun. It's like the perfect opportunity to wear that dress that you always wanted to wear and you never do because you're always touching hay and dealing with animals or mowing or whatever. We live such an outdoor life, and I say me and my neighbors and our community, we live so much outside during the summer and even the winter that, sometimes it's like an excuse to dress up. Like I have this cute, very country looking dress I'm gonna wear for the fair. But I'm gonna go on rodeo night, which is the funnest night. There's gonna be live music, and there is such a community feeling. It's so fun, like I've been living here for 2 years and I can say I know 40% of people that will be there. My kids work at the fair. That week they're working all day at the fair. They can make a little bit of extra money. So I go drop them off in the morning, pick them up in the afternoon. But then I don't know if it's Friday or Saturday on rodeo night, we're planning to go with some friends, grab junk food, sit on a table, laugh, listen to music. And the rodeo, because of the atmosphere, like how people is into it, it turns into the event of the night. Like we have so much fun with the barrel girls, it's just an experience. If you ever watched that show Heartland, it's about horses. It's like 1,000,000 seasons. I think I watched the first season, but it feels like that, it's like everyone is excited, everyone wants to be there, everyone wants to talk to you. I remember last year this little girl who must have been maybe 8 years old was selling ice cream, and she had no shoes, which I'm sure it's not what it should be. And she was at the end of the night, she was like she was trying to jump inside the freezer to scoop the ice cream, and it was the cutest thing in the world. Everyone works at the fair. Everyone has to stand or is showing animals or is selling animals or is doing something. The auctions are just such a big part of it. Kids make a lot of money in their programs, either 4-H or FHA or whatever. It's an event, and everyone looks forward to July just because of the county fair. And it's gonna be a crazy week for me because I'm gonna have to be driving the kids back and forth, but finishing the county fair with the rodeo and us going and enjoying our time there, it's really gonna make it worth it, at least to me. There's like plants and flowers, everything. It's a competition. it's one of a kind. I've never been into, like, and our county is ginormous, so we get people from the south of us coast, a little bit of inland, a little bit north of us. It's such a big county that you meet a lot of people there too, so that's coming. I'm also kind of trying to enjoy summer. We put a little canopy over there. My husband made this ginormous table, and we have some chairs, the grill. We also have this little smoke thing so we can smoke meat. And all I can tell you is we've been having the best summer nights at home. I know that for some people that must sound so stinking boring, but I cannot tell you the peace, the quiet, the connecting after a long day, whether it is here in the farm or it's working, having a spot that we can just be outside as a family, just put some little string lights that are solar powered, and taking the time to be with each other and talk about our days, talk about the challenges, talk about the plans for the rest of the summer. The main problem with this building not being done is because we're building another kind of a little guest house that we're building while we're still waiting for the well and the septic to be installed. I can't install a septic until the well is done. The well guy is still making me wait, and so while those things get done, they might get done this summer. It's not going to be enough time to then work on the foundation and then bring the house. So we're working on this small guest house, and we're working on it. We're leveling the ground for it, okay? But we have to do a million things before we started leveling the ground. And we're building it ourselves. And we're really debating a lot of things, but it needs to happen before winter comes, because once the rain comes, it doesn't have to be winter, but once the rain comes, then that kind of stops every single project outside, because it won't stop. We'll have a couple of good days, but maybe during the week when we're working. And so, in long story short, I guess, it's been this far an amazing realization kind of time in our lives, appreciation for family and friends, community, what we have. We always wanted land that was in our name, that we didn't have to pay a bank for it, that we could build as we could afford it, that we could feel like if the world collapses, the economy collapses, or anything happens, God forbid, somebody gets sick, that we wouldn't feel like, okay, this is my house as long as I pay for it. But if I get sick and I cannot work, am I gonna lose the house that I thought it was mine? A lot of things happened health-wise that led us to live here. And some people have taken the time to let me know how crazy we are for doing this. But to be honest, My family, it's a family of people that emigrate to different places, and I feel like my family is the family of always starting over and looking out for future generations. So if all I do in my life is build this home out of nothing, and in the end, big or small, it's what we want, and we can pass it along debt-free to future generations, for them to live here, for them to vacation here, for them to, it's just going to be such a deeper meaning to us, because once you die, and what is left behind, it's left behind. I just wish that what I leave behind is it's not a mess of things that my kids have to go through and decide what to keep and what to throw away. What I want is for them to have something that reminds them of home, a place that will make them feel nice and cozy when they think about it. And even my older boys feel that way, and we have absolutely nothing here. But I feel like a home is, where people that love you live. A home is where you feel comfortable enough to share how you feel and share in general. I just want that, I want my kids to remember us when we're gone. I want my grandkids to remember us when we're gone as that place. The place that brings them comfort, that makes them feel cozy, that makes them feel loved. And I think that when you are in the hamster wheel of getting stuff, paying stuff, working for stuff, it is hard to dedicate the time to build connections when you're in such a hurry. And this is not to say that you are doing something wrong if you live that lifestyle. I don't think so. I just think that after 20 years living myself that lifestyle, when I got sick and I almost died, I realized, oh my goodness, what am I doing with my life? What if I die today? What kind of memory will I be? The busy mom that was working and that was always, grumpy because she was tired and didn't get much sleep? Do I want my kids to remember me as somebody that comes and goes? Do I want my family to remember me like that? Do I want my friends to remember me like that? It was just, it was for me such a realization that I was doing things wrong in my life and for me personally. And it was a wake-up call when I spent that week in the hospital to say, I think I mentioned this to you guys before, but there was one night I had such a high fever, nothing was working. So they put ice on my body, like they would just bring bags of ice and put it on my body so I wouldn't start seizing. So I remember this one night, the ice was starting to melt and my anxiety kicked in, and I was thinking, if the nurse doesn't come back fast and put more ice on me, I'm certainly gonna die. I had signed my DNR and all the things that happen when you're in a hospital, and I started thinking and I started bargaining with God again, I believe in God. I'm not convincing you that you should too. But that's how the story goes. So I remember praying and saying, God, just don't let me go. My camera is blinking, my computer is blinking, and nothing is connected. But I'm gonna try to finish the story, make it short. But I remember bargaining with God and saying, Dear God, there is so much I want to do with my life. Don't let me die now. I am not ready. I don't want to die. And, my stay at the hospital, I stayed at the LDS hospital in Salt Lake City. And I remember the nurses being super nice. I mean, I have so many stories. Let me know if you want to hear about them. But I felt clearly that God gave me this I don't know, gave me this to my head that said, well, let's get on with it. Do you want to do something with your life? Then do it. You're stalling. I felt that way, how I felt like God was telling me, well, you need more time? Then why are you wasting it on things that are not making you happy? On things that are not making a difference in your kids' lives, in your family's life, in your own life? What are you doing? The next day, the doctor came and said one of the antibiotics worked. I mean, I had a specialist coming in from St. George, some kind of specialist in bacteria, which is what I had. It's one of the rarest kind of infections you can get. I had a lump here in the right side of my neck. And the next day, the doctor comes smiling and she was like, we found the antibiotic that is actually working. And I'd spent an entire week going through rounds of different antibiotics, and I was just so happy. I was like, that was November. December, that was December for winter break, we came to Oregon with my family. We were gonna go to California, as we typically did at the time. Spent a few days at the beach. We're like, you know what? We're gonna go to Brookings, Oregon. It's the border with Northern California. How bad can it be? And the rest of history. We fell in love with Oregon. It cleared my lungs the minute that I stepped in this beautiful forest by the beach. My son's too, and his asthma is even worse than mine. I had to go through that week in the hospital to realize that I was not happy. I was not present in the moment, and how amazing it is that I can sit here and tell you, oh my goodness, I feel like if something happens to me right now, I think that I was able to put in my kid's heart what it means to be a family, what it means to feel safe, what it means to have somebody that will love you unconditionally, what it means to have somebody that will listen to you. I don't know what to tell you. But I am thankful that I was given a second chance. Whether you believe that it was my destiny to have second chance, or if it was something miraculous, that's up to you what you want to believe. But I do truly believe that God gave me a second chance, and He said, get on with it. If there's so much you want to do before you die, then get on with it, because your days are counted. There's no time like today. So I'm gonna end this here because, as I said, everything is dying and I don't have electric in this part yet. It's gonna be a long extension cable. Don't think I'm an electrician that is gonna wire this woodshed. But I'm so thankful that you're here today. I hope that I was able to bring some kind of thoughts to your mind. Maybe make you think a little bit. Or maybe just relax you. Maybe just, being nosy about other people's lives, whatever the purpose of this video ended up being for you. I'm happy to have you here. So please always remember to leave a comment. By doing so, you're helping me with the algorithm by telling YouTube that you're into the video, that you're enjoying the video, that you have a question about the video, that the content is important and relevant to you. And if it is to you, YouTube will try to share it with more people in the hopes that it will be relevant for them. It will be relevant, not irrelevant. I said it in a funny way. So, I hope you're excited as I am in this studio that we're working on. So much love, so much sweat and tears have been going into this woodshed with many purposes that I can't wait to finally have it set up the way I want and ready to share more true crime cases with you, rambles, pretty much anything. So thank you for being here once again. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye guys.